And good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to the Video Sports page. Tonight, it's edition number 1134. Along with Rich Goulart and Will McKinney, I'm your host, Carl Pratt. This is how we'll share the next half hour. I have an opportunity to replay an interview I picked up with South football coach Scott Fry. His team has a huge matchup on Friday at home against Dennis Yarmouth. We have an opportunity to check in on the very successful Plymouth South volleyball program, enjoying its finest season ever and obviously heading off to the postseason. We have a couple of league titles in the balance right now as far as high school soccer is concerned. One goes to the Silver Lake boys, and the other is the Plymouth North girls soccer team, waiting for one more victory to either be co-champs or league champs all by themselves. We have an opportunity to replay an interview I had with Donnie Marshall. He's a studio host for Boston Celtics basketball, works for Comcast Sportsnet. Donnie and I had a conversation during Celtics Media Day back a couple of weeks ago. And before we say goodnight tonight, I'll replay an interview I had with John Laverty. He's the proud coach of the Plymouth North cross-country team on both the boys and girls sides, and they're having great success once again this fall. But let's begin our program by talking about the very successful Duxbury football team. The Duxbury Green Dragons, under the direction of Dave Mamron, they've now won 33 straight high school football games going back 3 seasons ago. And you know what? Over those years, Duxbury has won a bunch of football games in a bunch of different fashions. Most notably, last week when they took on Quincy, and Duxbury actually trailed by 23 points. But they rallied for a 23-point fourth quarter and posted another victory. They defeated Quincy 37-28. In this particular football game, Sean McCarthy, the quarterback, had 2 touchdown passes. He also rushed for 90 yards. He had 2 completions in this game over 50 yards, one for 67, the other for 54. John Hurwitz, who's having a terrific season, racking up all sorts of touchdowns, added 2 more to his total. John Hurwitz had 158 yards rushing for Duxbury in this victory. So 33 straight victories for the Duxbury Green Dragons. Well, the Plymouth South Panthers are playing some very fine football these days, and they're very much in the hunt for the Atlantic Coast League Championship. They have a huge matchup coming up on Friday at home, 7 o'clock kickoff against a very good DY team. Well, Thursday afternoon, before football practice ended for the Panthers, I spent some time with their veteran coach, Scott Fry. Okay, with darkness setting in, there's still plenty of enthusiasm here at the Plymouth South varsity football practice as they prepare for a huge game against Dennis Yarmouth coming up at home on Friday. This is head coach Scott Fry, and boy, you know, a break here and a break there, you could be 7-0, not 4-3.
Yeah, we've played well. You know, the games that we've lost, we've made mistakes and turned the ball over where we shouldn't have. That's probably the difference with the games we've won and lost.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the season, you and I talked. You felt you would have a pretty good football team. Things are coming to fruition.
Yeah, I was really excited about the team coming in. The senior class is fantastic, and they haven't let me down or the team down. So, yeah, I was really looking forward to this year.
Well, you've got a young man named Dylan Oxen. He's only a junior, 18 touchdowns. What a record for him, but he doesn't get those touchdowns without some great guys up front.
Yeah, you know, and he knows that too. He's a pretty humble kid, and he really does know that it starts up front with those 5 linemen that he has, and even the secondary guys that block on the perimeter, and they've done a great job making holes and allowing them to have those 18 touchdowns.
Talk about those kids up front, how they've worked hard for you. They not only have good size, but they understand their assignments, and they follow them through.
Yeah, you know, we went through some growing pains last year with some of these juniors that were sophomores, and now you see those kind of things pay off in the end. The big thing about it, a few years ago, we used to be 250, 260 across. We weren't very big. This year's group is probably 210, 220, but I wouldn't trade one of them. They really get after it, and they're hard-nosed kids.
And I always ask you this every year. Is there 1 or 2 kids that have filled in nicely for you that maybe you didn't expect, and now 4 or 5 games into the season, 6 or 7 games in, you're saying, boy, that kid really took his role nicely and ran with it?
You know, I think the big thing is when you see the growth of the sophomores that you played with last year and then the juniors this year, they really do grow up. You know, and we had a couple kids in the secondary that have really played hard. A kid named Ryan Donovan comes to mind that wasn't playing in the beginning of the year, and he's probably one of our best cover guys. And then, Brendan Hardy, who started as a sophomore last year as a sophomore and went through some growing pains, has really stepped it up. And Sean Duncombe, another junior. So those sophomores that played last year that are now juniors have really, really come around.
I talk about scoring all these points. I don't care who you're playing. Everybody has to lace them up. It's nice to put up those kind of numbers. Even if it's a weaker opponent, it's got to go a long way with your team's confidence.
Yeah, it does. And everybody, I don't know if they're weaker opponents, Kyle, but, I mean, we beat a really good sandwich team. And we were able to score 49 points against them. I think it's a combination of a whole team effort, not just the offense, but the defense putting us in good position to be able to score a lot of points.
You've been connected with football your entire life, whether it's with the Plymouth Vikings, Plymouth North, Silver Lake. Here at South, you wear dual hats here as the AD. You had a first. It goes to show you, if you stick around with football long enough, different things will happen. You had a first last week. Talk about that.
Yeah, it's kind of a nice story. We really struggled in the beginning of the year with our kicking game and against East Bridgewater, and I told our kids that we need somebody to kick, and they went out and found Katie Bucher, who was a girl soccer player that played her first year there, and she came out and joined our team. And it's been kind of a growing experience for her and for the team, where she came out one day, and then the next week she was there for 2 or 3 practices. Now she comes up to every single practice. She's a member of our team. She practices every day with us. She's on all our trips, obviously, home and away games. And she had the opportunity to kick her first female point ever for Plymouth South last week against Randolph.
So it's going to be kind of interesting. Everybody smiles. It's nice when it's in a game where you are enjoying a lopsided advantage, so there's not a tremendous amount of pressure on her either.
Yeah, it was in a good situation, and I think she felt really good about it. And, she's competing for a starting job just like a lot of people are from week to week, and she competes and she practices hard just like everybody else does. So.
Well, listen, we appreciate it. All right, listen, darkness setting in. Let's hope this video works out nicely, and let's hope Friday night works out nicely against Dennis Yarmouth. That's a team that has an explosive offense. You'll have to be on your toes.
Yeah, it's exciting to play for a game that means something, and it's exciting around the school and on the football field. So it's a nice experience.
Well, quickly then, before I let you sneak away, you talk about that. How about being the athletic director? You've got a volleyball program. We're going to show the people the highlights in a few moments against Rockland. Here's the best record ever for the volleyball team under the direction of the 4th straight year for the head coach, and every year they're in the tournament.
Yeah, Carolyn Finn does a phenomenal job with that volleyball program. They have a chance to go, I think it would be 14-4, which will be the best record ever. And our field hockey team's playing tonight against Nauset. With a win there, they can make the tournament with a 9-9 record. And that's a team 5 or 6 years ago couldn't score a goal, and their program is done a 180 as well. So it's exciting.
So here you go. You got a female kicker that kicks an extra point for the football team. You got the best record for the volleyball team. You got a field hockey team that's going to break some records if they continue with their success. Nothing but good things down here at South, and not as the football coach, but as the athletic director, you've got to be pleased.
I'm really proud. And the girls soccer program is another team that's made the tournament, I don't know, 4 or 5 years in a row, and and they should be okay this year. They got a couple tough games ahead of them, but they could also make the tournament. So things are really, really exciting around here, and it's nice to have such quality kids and great coaches.
All right, we appreciate it, Scott. This is what we're going to do. We'll let him get back for the last few minutes of daylight. We're going to go in the gym and get some of those highlights as the volleyball team plays host to Rockland. All right, as we take a look at this volleyball team in action, we can talk a little bit about Coach Carolyn Finn's team. Carolyn now in her 4th year, and each and every year they get better and better and better. And you heard me talking with Coach Fry, the volleyball team with its best record ever to this point, 13-4. This is action from Wednesday afternoon when the Panthers, who you see right there, took on visiting Rockland and defeated the Lady Bulldogs. Fine seasons have been taking place from the efforts of Christina Jaros, Sam Bazarewski, Cassandra Stout, Erica Randall, Alish Flaherty. Very good action for the Plymouth South Lady Panthers. The team on the right on the screen. Let's get some of the natural sound from the Plymouth South Gymnasium. Okay, the Plymouth South Lady Panthers up against the Rockland Bulldogs on Wednesday afternoon. Well, over at Plymouth North, some very fine records to talk about as far as cross country is concerned. They're under the direction of veteran coach John Laverty. This team was in action against Marshfield on Tuesday. A nice victory, 27-30 was the final count for the girls, who are now 7-1 overall, 6-1 in league action. The boys also with a record of 6-1. Well, we have an opportunity to replay an interview I had with head coach John Laverty earlier this week. Joining me this week on the program, the head coach of the Plymouth North Cross Country program. Two teams with records of 6-1. As we tape this interview, head coach Laverty, you got to be pleased.
I'm ecstatic, Carl. I'm very happy. We've done a great job. We are where we should be at this time of year, and we've got about 3 weeks left till we should peak.
It kind of stinks in a way when you have 6-1 records, just one small blemish, but that's the difference in a championship and not having one.
Yeah, it's a difference in a league championship, which is very important, but hopefully we have bigger things, bigger fish to fry.
Let's talk, if we can, first of all, on the girls' side, a 6-1 record. You've got a tough DY team to overcome. On the boys' side, same situation, but this time the opponent's sandwich in the way.
Yeah, they're both tough teams. DY beat us on opening day by 1 point, and if you understand cross country at all, it's actually a half a point. It's actually a half a point. If our kid comes ahead of their kid, we win by a point. So that was close and that was tough, and I think we're a much better team right now than we were back then. Sandwich is a quality team. They're top 3 in the state, and ironically, Division 4 has the top 3 teams in the state. Better than the Brooklines, the Brocktons, the whatever you want. They all happen to be in Division 4, Division 2 statewide.
You've been doing this for so many years. How does this group stack up with some of the better teams you've had in the past?
We have qualified a boys and a girls team in the same year, back in like 1997, 1998 or so. So there's lofty standards, but we have some. Nicole Borofsky could be the first person ever at North to qualify for 4 state championships. No one's done that. That's amazing. And we have other kids who are going to do the same thing. So we have state-level kids.
You've had kids that have worked very hard in the past, and this is no reflection on Nicole or your other high-level competitors. Is it just a natural-born thing when you have that type of success? What makes it special? Because you've had kids in the past that have put the time and effort in.
Cross-country is a unique sport, Carl. It's like being in the band. It's like being, a student. We have 2 top kids in their class, a senior and a junior, who are both right now #1 in their class on this team. It's an individual sport. It's a discipline. And in order to do well in this sport, you need to have that discipline, and we fortunately have those kids.
What makes it special as far as your team when they go out and compete? Is it the camaraderie? Is it the commitment? Is the friendliness amongst the team? Is it the willingness to win? What makes them up?
All of the above. All of the above. One of our mantras is be a good brother, be a good sister, and that's what we want to be. We want to be good big brothers and sisters to our teammates, and that carries through for 4 years. When the kids who are now seniors were freshmen, the seniors took care of them. And so when a kid walks into a high school, even though it's a brand new high school this year, and they have somebody that they know, it's huge.
All right, head coach John Laverty of the Plymouth North Cross Country program joining us. Give me a few names on both sides before we wrap up this interview that have made you have success this fall.
A lot of people have made us have success. The boys team is about 8 deep. Captain Cody Farraher has done a great job. Nate Shannon, a sophomore, has done a great job. Mike Bambrick, another captain's done a great job. Kevin McNeely, unbelievable. Came from nowhere to be our #1 guy for most of the season this year. He's done a great job. Riley Wilson's done a great job. I don't want to leave anybody. Phil Harris, a walk-on. The boys are loaded. The girls, we had 4 outstanding sophomores last year. One of them hasn't been able to be with us this year. She'll be with us next year, hopefully. The other 3 have done a fabulous job. Our team is our top 5 people. They're the ones that score. 2 seniors and 3 sophomores. So we've been very, very fortunate.
We've been very fortunate each and every year when we come out here to Plymouth North to do an interview with head coach Laverty. He's always full of enthusiasm. He's full of success. He's full of pride for all the right reasons. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, John Laverty joining us this week on the program. We'll continue with more, so stay with us. Okay, we're on the subject of Plymouth North Athletics, so let's put some focus on the girls soccer team under the direction of Dennis Azevedo. It was a tournament-type atmosphere for sure, high-level soccer being played at Romano Field on Tuesday night as Plymouth North hosted Marshfield. These are the top two teams as far as the Atlantic Coast League is concerned. Earlier this year, Marshfield defeated Plymouth North 2-1, but the Eagles have played some outstanding soccer. That's their only loss as far as the league is concerned. But in this particular game, for all the marbles for a possible league championship, Plymouth North actually trailed in this game 1-0 with 15 minutes to go. But they did get a goal from freshman Brianna Malaguti with 11 minutes to go to make it 1-1. And then the big scorer, senior captain Madison Finley, got a goal off a great feed from Jennifer Reynolds. And Plymouth actually took the lead and held on for the victory. They get that goal with less than 2 minutes remaining in the contest. The numbers so far this year for Madison Finley, 18 goals and 8 assists. What a terrific season she's having. So here's the situation right now. 1 game remaining. That's Thursday for Plymouth North. They go up against DY. 1 game remaining for Marshfield. The Rams go up against Sandwich. Now, both teams win, they're co-champs. You understand the math here. Plymouth wins, Marshfield loses. It's the Eagles' title. So good luck to the Plymouth North program. The Eagles right now 9-1-1 as far as Atlantic Coast League soccer is concerned, 11-3-1 overall. So congratulations to the Eagles for the great come-from-behind victory on Tuesday. Well, you know what? 2 years ago, Silver Lake, Hingham, and Duxbury shared the Patriot League Championship, a tri-championship over there. Last year, Hingham won the Keenan Division title, but this year it belongs to Silver Lake. The Silver Lake Lakers were home as we see some of the action here at Sirico Field earlier this week. They went up against Hingham for a possible league championship or division championship. Silver Lake posted its 11th win in 2 ties. They're undefeated in their last 13 tries. And you know what? They're playing some outstanding soccer right now. Silver Lake ended up defeating Hingham in this game 3-0. It was 1-0 at half. Sean Hurlbert scored to give Silver Lake the lead. Paul Beatty added a goal, as did Tommy Donovan. The Silver Lake Lakers battling a very good Hingham team. Silver Lake is home in the white tops and red shorts. Hingham in the red uniforms here, about to take the kick. So Silver Lake with a terrific performance. You know what? They're really on a roll right now. A very strong seed will take place when they get ready for the postseason. Let's get some of the natural sound from Sirico Field.
Hey, keep it here, Ray. Keep it here.
All right, Silver Lake in action against the Hingham Harbormen once again. Those are the top dogs as far as the Keenan division is concerned in the Patriot League. Well, not too long ago during Celtics Media Day, I had an opportunity to spend some time with Donnie Marshall. Played at UConn, played in the NBA for 6 years. Now he's a game analyst for the Boston Celtics cablecast on Comcast Sportsnet. Let's call on Rich to push some buttons. Let's replay the interview I had with Donnie Marshall. Okay, let's continue with this week's edition of the Video Sports Page. We're in Waltham. It's Media Day for the Boston Celtics, and here's a guy who I really enjoy his work, former NBA guy and now a Boston Celtics game analyst for Comcast Sportsnet. This is Donnie Marshall. Are you living a dream?
I am. I'm the only person I know, at least in my circle of friends, that has had two dream jobs. One playing in the NBA, and then two now actually talking about the game that has done so much for my life and really helped me live a wonderful life. And I'm still doing that. And now I'm just talking about it.
Now it's not fair because you took my second question away. I was going to say, though, Donnie, how good has basketball been to you and your family?
It's pretty much what has dictated, my livelihood, obviously, for the last, 20 years. But it's also a game, when you think of it that way, it's a game that, a lot of kids learn from a young age. I didn't start playing until I was 16, and to be able to, have the opportunities to go out and be a voice for the former players, be a voice for the players now, and also to be able to have a winter job, and then in the summer, I say we're like higher paid teachers. We get the summers off, and we talk about something we love to talk about, and that's basketball. So it really has. I'm very fortunate. I've been blessed to be able to not only play the game, but to be able to go and put a sentence together about it once I get done playing.
Yeah, but let's talk about it. You're not recognized just in this area as a UConn guy or a Comcast Sportsnet guy. I was flipping through last year, and I'm watching NBC Sports, and I see you on there. So other people nationally recognize Donnie Marshall. That's got to be rewarding.
Yeah, it is. Obviously Comcast, well, it was Fox, it was FSN before that. Right. They've given me a terrific opportunity to kind of show what I can do as far as my on-air talents, whether it's in the studio as a co-host with Gary Tangway or as an analyst doing the games with Mike Gorman. So NBC came in last year, and they're starting some new programming and some college stuff, so I'll be doing more with them. I had a chance to do the Olympics for NBC, calling basketball games this summer. So things are really starting to come together, and I tell people I could be at this job doing this for the rest of my life and would not have one complaint. I really love it in Boston. I love the Celtics, and I just love the feeling of history. Every time you step up and you get in front of the camera or you're in the studio, you're talking about history because it's the Boston Celtics.
Sure. Let's talk, if we can, though, how you have to build the confidence of the players, okay? Mm-hmm. As a former player, maybe that first year or second year as an analyst, you kind of just touch and go, if you know what I'm saying. But now you have a situation where you've built confidence in the players, where you can say, hey, this guy's got to dish it here. And to build that confidence so you can walk in the locker room after the game and they don't look at you and say, hey, Donnie, you're talking trash.
Yeah, and I think they understand. I got into this business to be able to tell the side of the players. A lot of people think they're spoiled athletes, they're overpaid, and there may be, you can debate that. But for me, it's to tell what the players are feeling from their perspective, and I think the players understand that. I don't go on the air thinking about shtick. I don't go on the air trying to put out catchphrases. That's just not what I do. There are a lot of people out there who do that, and they're successful with it in the national media, locally. My thing is to call the game, let people at home understand the game like I understand it, and not dumbing it down, but letting them understand in a way that's fun, that they'll want to tune in the next time. And then I've been fortunate to be able to do that, and the players recognize that. They recognize he's on our side. Once you can get on the player's side because they know you've been a player, you're in for life.
Let's back up the clock. When you broke into basketball, when you broke into the NBA, who was that first bigger-than-life guy that maybe you used to see on TV, and all of a sudden you're on the court warming up and you can't help but keep looking over your shoulder and saying, wow, that's MJ, or that's so-and-so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, without a doubt, Michael Jordan. I was a kid, like I said, I started playing basketball as a sophomore in high school, first time I ever touched a ball. He was plastered. His posters, walls, ceilings. Michael Jordan was just one of those things that represented the greatest player on the planet, but not only that, one of the greatest players as far as work ethic is concerned. And I think even to this day, we have a lot of great players in this league, but I don't know if there are that many that worked as hard as Michael Jordan did. There's a reason he is the greatest of all time. And, you know, being able to play against him and to get to know him a little bit, you know, golfing with him, again, it's one of those things, it's one of those beautiful things in life that you get from one thing, and I got that from basketball, to be able to experience great things in life and be able to be around your heroes and be able to do the things you love to do.
I'd probably be remiss if I didn't say you were blessed, but let me ask you, when you think about it, if you were to die tomorrow, would you like to come back as you? Because it sounds like you really, no, you know what I'm saying. We all have dreams and so forth, but that's what I say to people. I'm living my dream. I've always wanted to get into doing what I'm doing. Celtics give me accommodations, Patriots, Bruins, you know. How about for you? Well, we'll continue to replay and continue that interview on another night. We're just about out of time. We'd like to thank you for yours. I've been your host, Carl Pratt, Health and Wisdom, from the Video Sports Page.